tea in India is much more than just a beverage. It's a cherished tradition woven into everyday life. From the bold black tea to the iconic adrak wali chai, Indians enjoy tea in all its forms and flavors. And if you are a tea lover, there's plenty to celebrate because US FDA has now recognized some categories of tea as a healthy beverage. Apart from that, Indian tea exports are also expected to inch higher this year, led by increase in shipments to Iran and Iraq and higher demand that is coming in from US and Russia. To discuss all this and more in greater detail, we now have Mr. Arijit Raha, Secretary General of Indian Tea Association, now joining us. Mr. Raha, thank you so much for taking your time out and speaking with us here on ET Now. And first up, congratulations not only to you as association but to all tea lovers, because US FDA has now recognized tea as a healthy beverage. Help us understand what led to this, what types of and what categories of tea are included in this, and which categories of tea are not included in this. Help us understand, give us a holistic view.
Thank you. A very good afternoon and greetings of the season. Well, yes, it is good news for us. The FDA has in a recent report updated the requirement of what constitutes healthy in reference to food products which form the foundation of a nutrition diet. And the report confirms that tea, as derived from the plant Camellia sinensis, that's the plant that we grow in India and the world over, served in servings of less than 5 calories, would automatically qualify for being labeled as healthy. The servings, really speaking, the term that the US FDA has used is a term called RACC, which means the reference amount customarily consumed. So that could mean the average level of consumption that they have benchmarked this to. But essentially, this is definitely good news for us. It does not actually distinguish between different kinds of tea, but it only says, the report summary, that it does not apply automatically to infusions, given the fact that infusions come from a large variety. When you talk of other products which are being passed off as tea, which do not necessarily emanate from this plant Camellia sinensis, which we know as tea. Now, one. And second is, even where it is so, if it is an infusion, which means that if it is a tea mixed with other ingredients, it does not automatically qualify. So this is in a nutshell the finding. This is available online on the FDA website, and this is due to be registered tomorrow on the 27th of December 2024. So this would be a pivotal moment for us in terms of tea being recognized as a healthy beverage, and it adds strength to the body of evidence which already exists that tea is rich in antioxidants. In fact, I'm very happy to also report that a recent study published by the Tea Research Association says that the antioxidant content in tea is higher when tea is made from finer leaf. So really speaking, we seem to be moving into a regime where, apart from the chemical and cup characteristics of tea, which is the prevalent criteria today, we could evolve a quality benchmarking of tea, which then would provide the customer, when one is navigating through the marketplace, to look at healthier labels and make a more informed choice.
Understood. We get that point, but also wanted to understand, what does this mean for you as an industry? Do you think global demand will increase as a result of this categorization of tea being now considered as a healthy beverage?
Definitely, but that it will take time. It will need propagation. It will need endorsement by legislation the world over. It does not really mean that we can start using the label from tomorrow morning in Indian packets. This needs to be recognized and endorsed by Indian legislation. But the fact that it has been done by the FDA is in itself a big banner for us. It's a big achievement for the industry globally. And we are extremely happy about it. And definitely, yes, it would impact global demand because people are conscious about health. People are wanting to become healthier. Especially the younger generation is extremely health conscious. And we see this having a very positive impact on the demand for tea in the days to come.
Categorization as a healthy beverage is expected to aid demand for tea going forward. But Mr. Raha, also there are some reports which suggest that export demand environment continues to remain very strong from Iran and Iraq, and demand from US and Europe also continues to be on the stronger side. Help us understand how much have exports risen by this year versus same time last year, if you can quantify the figures for us.
The figure really is 28.28 million. That's an increase of about 17.87, say about 18% so far. This is up to September 2024. So the October and November, December figures are yet to be released by the Tea Board of India. So I'm sure once that comes in, but as things stand, on a period to period comparison, we are 17.87% higher. Even the export earnings in terms of per kg rate is 264 rupees approximately per kg, as against 265 rupees last year. So since we will be having larger volumes, the total earnings would also be more.
10% increase in export demand is what you're saying in terms of volumes, but which regions and which countries are contributing to this demand?
See, essentially, we have gains in Iraq, Russia, UAE, USA, and Iran, which are significantly higher than the previous year. But to answer your question more comprehensively, if you look at the export basket for India, UAE, Russia, Iran, USA, UK, Kazakhstan, Germany, Saudi Arabia, and Iraq, these 9 countries actually add up to about 73 to 75% of the Indian exports.
Understood. So several countries that are aiding the move as far as demand is concerned for Indian tea. But apart from that, tea prices in India have also risen by about 18 to 20% in the first 10 months of calendar year 2024. We don't have data of how tea prices have moved after that. So how have pricing trends been in November and December?
Well, pricing trends in November and December are quite disturbing. As I mentioned earlier, we are finding that if you look at the averages in September, and then look at sale to sale averages that have prevailed. As far as Kolkata auction is concerned, the average is about 44 rupees below that level. Siliguri is about 68 rupees below that level. And Guwahati is about 30 rupees below that level. So prices, in spite of a shortfall in production of about 6% as we speak up to September, have been sliding post October.
And how much has the
So
decline
this is
been?
definitely a matter of concern.
Okay, so prices have declined after September, but how much has the decline been?
As I said, it's about, you see, we have not got the full comprehensive data for India as a whole, but I'm just giving you data that we have, got from the auction averages. As I said, that is almost 44 rupees for Kolkata. The range is anything between 30 to 44 rupees. And if you really take sale 50, which has recently happening, the difference between the average price that teas were fetching in Kolkata in sale 36 to 30 to 39, there's the September average vis-a-vis sale 50, which happened last week, is almost 80 rupees. But what I'm giving you is the average, sale to sale average through October, November, December.
That's as far as the pricing trends are concerned. But Mr. Raha, Assam Tea Planters Association recently came out with a report, and they have raised alarm over ongoing crisis in the industry, attributing to increase in manufacturing cost. Help us understand how much have manufacturing costs risen by, and is it a real concern for the industry?
Yeah, definitely, it is. It is a very major concern for the industry. At any by any stretch of any benchmark that you might look at, input costs, if you look at the compounded annual growth rate in the last 10 to 12 years, have been growing over 12%. Prices have been growing on an average at about 3 to 4%. And it is this gap that is creating a problem for the industry, because we are constantly trailing the increase in costs. So there's been a tremendous increase, even though prices have shown some improvement this year. this still does not make up for the loss that has happened over the years. We are still trailing the increase in costs.
We have risen for tea. Mr. Raha, thank you so much for taking your time out, speaking with us here on ET Now on a whole host of issues related to the tea industry.
If you like this video, then like, share and subscribe to ET Now.